Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. Welcome to the Toppers Talk series today. I have with me Mr. Mahesh Babu. Thank you so much for coming and many congratulations to you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
So guys, this video is gonna be very interesting. Why? Because of two reasons. One is that, of course, the students, the aspirants preparing for FCI examination, they will find it really interesting, the tips, the strategy that will be shared by Mahesh Babuji. And apart from that, the list of achievements that I have with me related to Mahesh Babu, that you'll find really interesting, right? So I'll just start. I'll give you a brief introduction, right? Then you can tell us in detail about your background.
Yes.
So guys, Mahesh Babu has been now selected as a FCI AGM through the generalist stream. Prior to that, he has worked in BHEL as a supervisor trainee for 1 year. After that, he worked in State Bank of India as a deputy manager for 2.5 years. These are his two work experiences. His qualification is MBA in finance, MA in public administration, and very interesting to know, he is pursuing PhD in local governance, right? So this is his qualification and his work experience. Apart from that, I have a list of the examinations that he has cleared, the competitive examinations, right? That will be told by himself, he himself in detail, so that then we can relate his journey of competitive examinations.
Yes. To begin with this journey of competitive exams, I should start from my graduation background from campus placements, where I was placed in Franklin Templeton Investments and HSBC as part of campus placements. Then after that, I've joined for this MBA finance program, and after that, I've got selected into this Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited BHEL as supervisory trainee finance. I worked there for about 1 year, and then left that job. And I've started preparing for these competitive examinations. Where in this process I have cleared a couple of examinations. So one being Bank of India as a probationary officer, and then Intelligence Bureau by Ministry of Home as ACI, Assistant Central Intelligence Officer. Not once but twice. At the first instance I was selected, and at the second instance I was selected for interview too, but I did not attend the interview part. And then I've again got selected for the State Bank of India as probationary officer, and I've taken up that job, and I worked there for about 2.5 years. And on confirmation, I was promoted to scale 2 directly. So that part, and again after working there for about 2.5 to 3 years, and again I came out of that organization and I've started my PhD. With respect to PhD, I've cleared this JRF examination both, and meanwhile I've completed my MA Public Administration also from IGNO in distance, and cleared this JRF examination by this UGC NET, both in this MBA as well as Public Administration. And I've enrolled myself in this PhD program in Public Administration with topic being local governance. And then I've given this FCI exam also. So, and I've finally cleared, and I'm before you now. So
Yes.
with respect, yes, ma'am.
So yes, like you are now selected, right? And
Yes.
going to share your strategy with us. So
yes,
many congratulations to you, not only for clearing this examination, but also on clearing so many examinations that are considered to be quite difficult. You did not join the posts like IBACIO, which recently also the exam held. So see, this is what I would like to ask is that where did you bring all that motivation from? Because see, not once, twice, you have, I think, cleared multiple times many examinations of good difficulty level. Any competitive examination we cannot say is easy today. So where did that motivation come?
Motivation, I would call it as an attitude rather than motivation. I would call an attitude of being competitive, taking everything as a challenge. So I'll give you an example of the State Bank of India. In the first attempt, I couldn't clear the State Bank of India. In the second attempt, I have got through this State Bank of India. In the first attempt, I couldn't clear the State Bank of India. So the reason I have given this FCI exam, SBI for the second time, is that I want to know why I didn't clear this examination in the first time. So I've got back to my this drawing table. I've checked upon where I've not done well, etc. So I've again got back to this thing, and again then I've cleared the State Bank of India. So that is, I think it is more about attitude, ma'am. It is like why I cannot clear, why, what is wrong with my preparation, etc. So that is what kept me motivated. Even with this FCI AGM exam also, I'll share a strange thing that happened. So actually I was selected for this FCI manager accounts.
Okay.
So I've given that exam also, FCI manager accounts. So I've cleared this phase 1, I've cleared this phase 2, and I was selected for this interview also. But somehow for some reason I did not attend the interview. So I did not attend the interview, and I just want to know where I stood. So what was my score in this phase 1 and phase 2? Where did I stand, etc. So I kept on checking on their website for this manager scores. So in that process, I came to know about this FCI category 1 AGM recruitment. There I got to know about this recruitment, and again applied for this recruitment, and I've again cleared this exam. So that is how I came to know about this AGM. So, and I feel the reason I feel as I have not given this manager interview, I could clear this AGM examination. So had I given that interview, had I cleared that, maybe I would not have cleared this examination. So the point I want to share is take things positively everywhere. Whatever happens, it happens for a reason. So take things positively, and you should go ahead.
So rightly said. Basically, you have said that it is not motivation, rather it is the attitude that
Yes,
I have to clear this examination. The idea is that you are not appearing just for appearing, rather you want to assess yourself also. That is a wonderful attitude, and I would say that I have not seen many people with that attitude.
Thank you.
One more thing I would like to ask. See, good posts you have cleared, right? Be it IB, be it Bank of India, you have worked in SBI. Then, like, why did you join FCI AGM? Because you are such a person, I think, who is still planning or might in future plan to go for other examinations also.
So why do you? I didn't get your question. Sorry.
That now you are going to join FCI AGM, right?
Yes,
there are many examinations that you cleared, but you did not join the post.
Yes.
So you are planning to join as FCI AGM now?
Yes.
And what is the reason for that?
So the reason is the nature of job and the position at which this recruitment is happening. So I think it is happening at the very senior level.
Yes.
Very senior level. So that is one big thing. So, and moreover, as AGM in Food Corporation of India, I think AGM will be heading a divisional office of Food Corporation of India. So that is a very senior position with huge responsibilities, huge burden, huge responsibility, etc. So I think it will be more challenging there. So so obviously challenging parts, I like to take up challenging things. So I think it will be challenging, and I'll be taking it up.
Yes, that now we know. You really like to take up challenges.
Thank you.
So please share about your preparation, the beginning of your preparation for FCI specifically. Although we would love to discuss other exams also. I'll try to ask all those questions also, but let's start with your preparation of FCI. How did you, when you got to know that notification is there, then how did you start?
So not just FCA, for any examination, I would start with penning down the entire syllabus. So whatever the syllabus it was given in this notification part, I'll start my preparation with penning down this syllabus. So I'll write everything what was given in the syllabus in my personal diary kind of thing. So by that I'll come to know that what exactly is the syllabus. So I can accordingly guide my preparation. So even with this FCI part also, I've started with this noting down that actual syllabus. So that kind of gave me an overview, like what are the areas I have to focus upon, what are my core areas. So so I've started with that, and as part of that, this FCI exam has four sections, one being quant and reasoning, the other being management and ethics, the other being current affairs, and the other being computer and agriculture. So these four subjects, four parts. So I've sorted them out. I've identified my areas of strength, my areas of weaknesses, and I've identified areas where I have to work upon. So accordingly, I've done my preparation. So as part of this section one, which was quant and reasoning, so that area I was relatively okay. So I was relatively better there. So that, and the other part, management and ethics, and agriculture, and this agriculture part is kind of a new thing to me. So in my this background, I was nowhere connected to this agriculture. So that area I focused a bit more relatively to other these areas. So agriculture part, and next this management and ethics, and computer, this general awareness I've covered from this current affairs part. So this quant and reasoning, that is kind of a relatively strong area for me. So I've focused upon that. And my focus was mostly on this agriculture area, agriculture and management and ethics. So I focused them because that is the area where many of the students don't have a background kind of thing. So many people lack that background, especially for this examination with agriculture background, very few people, and especially with this management and ethics background, very few people. So I thought I should focus upon those areas so as to have this competitive edge over the others.
So let's talk about ethics and management.
Yes.
First you pen down all the syllabus, and then you identified that, okay, I'm good in quant and reasoning, let's say. So I don't need to focus that much there. Practice is required although, but still my focus should be on the subjects that I am not good at or I do not have background with. So ethics and management, these are the subjects, again, as you said, not very common, not required for every exam. So for what were your sources for these ethics and management?
Management and ethics, for this management part, I have covered this in my MBA and as well as in public administration. So that helped me. Other than that, ethics part, I have referred to some institute material, and I've also solved these practice questions. So that really helped me. And within this, and with respect to this ethics part, it is more of kind of general aptitude that is tested in this ethics part. General aptitude with respect to ethics, and here and there some technical terms related to which are purely ethical terminology. So I focused upon that terminology part of this ethics, and this management part I have covered this in this both this post graduation, public administration as well as management. So that it helped me.
So ethics, this I've heard earlier also from the selected people, that basic terminologies, definitions that are given in ethics, that are more important. Like for example, what is empathy? You should know such things. So that is that will be enough, and people can find material related to that on net also. And management, you said they were like your postgrad had this, right? So is there any book that you would like to suggest also for management?
Management, you can refer this organizational behavior. I don't exactly remember that writer's name. M of management and organizational behavior. So you can find it on Google. Some bulky book. I don't exactly remember the author's name. It was a standard book for this management graduates. So as part of that, this syllabus part, the thinkers, etc., it was very nicely covered in that book.
Okay, so that shall be helpful, and practice questions anyhow required.
Yes.
Okay, right. And quant and reasoning, how did you use to practice? Although you, because have cleared exams, so you have the background. This was not the first time you were preparing, but there are many people who are starting just their preparation of quant reasoning. For those, what will you suggest? How should they start?
First, for the beginners, the first thing is to cover the basics part. And then you don't have to focus much upon basics again. The only thing you have to keep constantly doing is practice. With more number of questions you practice, more you will get exposed to more diverse questions, more number of questions, more different types of questions, different questions of different difficulty, and your speed will be increased. And speed is something that, which will be a factor of difference for many people. Some people could solve the paper in 1 hour, some people could solve the paper in 45 minutes, half an hour. So speed really matters, especially in the exam hall, in the exam environment. So practice makes this speed thing also, it will help to improve speed also.
Okay. So when you gave the examination, it had, I think, 180 questions total?
Yes, 180. Yes.
So when you gave the exam, how did you, like, what was the level of paper according to you? Were you confident that I'll be able to clear, or you felt that I am?
No, No, confidence part, it is quite really difficult because in the competitive field, you cannot really be very confident because your performance or the probability of you being selected or not, it is relative. But again, it depends on the performance of other people, other aspirants. So confidence part, I felt that I have done better. I have done well. I have done better. Really done well exam, but it again depends. So what if other people have done better than me? So then my chances of selection are will definitely get affected. So I felt that I have done well. I've done well. So and seeing this mains result, so I did not surprise much because I thought that I've done it well.
So basically, if you have prepared well, if you attempt well, then that confidence somewhere comes. That probably I am expecting the call that comes. So it is everything boils down to your preparation and practice. If you have not,
yes, preparation, and I would say again attitude. So with the kind of attitude you enter into this examination hall, with the kind of attitude you attempt the questions, with the kind of attitude you give your entire paper, that all again plays a crucial role. So if you are entering the examination hall with the attitude of clearing it, if you are with the attitude of giving it your 100%, it definitely helps you.
Wonderful thing that you have said, that you have to give your 100%, right?
Yes.
Then it will be, obviously there might be many people in the examination who are just coming for attempt, that they have appeared, they'll be there. Many few people they will come who have given their 100%. So make sure you are in one of those.
Yes, definitely.
Very nice. Acha, we were discussing about your quant reasoning that we have done. You have also told about ethics and management. Please also discuss about agriculture and computer. Computer is still manageable, right? A lot of content is there, but agriculture is the one which people are afraid of.
Yes, as I've said, agriculture is kind of new area to me. I've not no background of this agriculture. So again, when I've noted down this syllabus part, so I identified certain areas where I can find standard material, standard references. For example, like this cropping patterns, soils, etc. So for this areas, I've picked up NCERT books. So they really help. They really help.
Geography, NCERT is geography.
Yes, geography, NCERT geography. So they really helped me, and I remember some questions coming from these NCERTs also. They really helped me actually. So apart from that, the other issues are more of contemporary. The subject topics given in the syllabus, they are more of contemporary. That is, may not be possible to find standard references for those topics. They are more of contemporary, following newspapers, news, etc. They'll help. But for as far as me, going to this NCERT geography textbooks have really helped for this agriculture part.
Agriculture part, okay. Yes. So that students can refer with the non-agriculture background. Those who are from the same background, it is easy for them to identify. Upon seeing the syllabus, they'll get to know, okay, this thing is to be covered from there. Okay.
So that is the reason I stressed upon writing this syllabus part. So if you, the moment you start writing down the syllabus, you will come to know where what is this area, where is this area from, where can we cover it from, etc. If you are from the background, it will be really helpful and it will have advantage.
You started your preparation, as you have told, after the notification came. Although you had the background of few subjects which are required for competitive examinations, but major preparation for this exam was after the notification. So between the notification and the examination, the time duration, did you find that that time was sufficient for the preparation? How many months, how many days were there in between?
Actually, this exam was this notification was released before the second wave. So actually, I should say, guys have got enough time, got more than say 3 to 4 months. I think this notification came out in the month of February or March, and this examination has happened in July. So the time is sufficient. Time should be sufficient.
Okay, so within a span of 3-4 months, it's a good time. You can cover if you're sincere enough.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, fine. So this is about your recruitment test that took place, online exam. Now, when the result came and you got your call for interview, for that, what preparation did you do?
So for that part, I should thank EduTap also, because honestly, the other examinations, these competitive examinations, that is okay. That can be manageable, and I've not taken any assistance for that attending that interviews. But with respect to this Food Corporation of India, I felt I should take someone's help because one reason is this domain is quite new to me, and the other is somehow I felt like I want to clear this examination, so I should not take any chance. So it is then I have given these mock interviews of EduTap. They really helped. Actually, after attending that interviews, I came to know what could be asked in the interview also. So actually my preparation started after attending these mock interviews. Preparation for interview started after attending these mock interviews. I've gone through this entire website of this Food Corporation of India. So everything was there in the website. So I've covered everything, whatever is there on this website. So other than that, from this educational background, I was expecting questions from my PhD part, public administration part, and my previous experience also. So accordingly, I've prepared, and the questions asked were not very strange or difficult. They were on expected lines. Some questions on this food corporation functions, and some questions on my PhD part and post graduation and my work experience. So it kind of went on expected lines. Nothing new, nothing
so
strange.
basically interview has the weightage of 20 marks in this paper, right?
Yes,
so
20.
basically the questions were from your own background, your education, your experience, work experience if you have, and secondly the questions, as you said, FCI website also helped. So were there questions related to FCI also, working or like about the website, about the organization?
Yes, there were questions. The questions I remember with respect to Food Corporation of India are basic functions of Food Corporation of India. What does a Food Corporation of what does this organization do? And what do you think are the job or role of this AGM? What does an AGM do? What would be these roles and responsibilities of AGM? And some questions are like factual, like what are recent MSPs announced, who announces the MSPs, who fixes these MSPs. Now, is there a formula to calculate these MSPs? Who recommends, who announces, who heads that committee? Some questions related to that.
Okay, so basically for any interview, this is, I think also you will say that this is true, that for any interview you should be prepared with your own background and about the organization also.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so this would be my last question from your preparation strategy about current affairs.
Yes.
You referred that newspapers can also help, right?
Yes.
And usually students also refer to the monthly magazines or weekly magazines, right?
Yes.
So did you refer to, like, what did you refer to, and how did you think students can go for the same?
I personally referred this monthly magazines of, I remember covering 7 months, starting from December 2020. I've covered about monthly magazines of 7 months. And for students also, I would recommend monthly magazines, but make it a habit to read newspaper. Though you are covering current affairs from this monthly magazines, but make it a point to read newspapers. Make it a habit. So it definitely helps in your solving this comprehension questions, English related questions, and reading newspaper also helps you in performing better in interview, because in this current affairs it will be mostly factual. You don't have to form any opinion, etc. And in the examination also will be in the written examination, questions will be mostly factual, and you can cover this written examination from this monthly magazine. But if you have to attend interviews, you have to attend a panel, if you have to answer their questions, you have to form an opinion kind of thing. You have to have some overview on subjects that were in news. So for that part, you have to cover this newspaper also. So make it a habit to read newspaper, and for this before the examination, you can cover this monthly magazines.
Okay, so I think that was very insightful. You have shared many sources with us, the detailed strategy that students must follow, right? Now, apart from this, is there anything that you would like to tell students, which it might be your experience or anything motivational for the students who are still preparing for the examinations, might have failed earlier, again preparing for other examinations, or there are many who are starting also their preparation? Anything you'd like to say?
I would like to say, like, whenever you are going to begin something, when you are doing something, so you first work out like what are your areas of strength, etc. People generally call it SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, etc. So I would simply say analyze yourself. So analyze yourself and be honest to yourself. I'm saying honest because it's only if you're honest to yourself you can improve yourself. If you're not honest to yourself, you cannot improve yourself. So for any competitive examination, you go through the syllabus thoroughly, identify your areas of strength, identify your areas of weaknesses, and improve your strengths and work upon your weaknesses. And don't get disheartened if failure embraces you in the first attempt. So life is all about the success and failures. This profile I've only shared what those things which I have cleared and was successful. It doesn't mean that I haven't failed too. But I have my share of failures also. So don't get disheartened by the failures. So go ahead, keep the positive attitude. And attitude part I have continuously stressing from the beginning, because it is the attitude which decides you where you want to be and what you want to be. So with the right kind of attitude, you can do wonders. That is what I believe in. So attitude is all that matters, especially in these competitive examinations. Yes, I would like to add one more thing, and many people asked after this selection also. So this FCI AGM especially, so there were very limited posts, just 29 posts released after about 5 years, all India competition, very tough competition. Why do you applied in the first place? Were you really confident that you will clear for this 29 posts? So my answer to them is like, I would apply even if there is one post eligible for me. So even if there is one post, I'll apply, because all I need is one post. So I just need one post. I don't need more than one post. So I think that is the attitude one should have, and this aspirants, especially in this competitive world, don't get bogged down by this competition. Competition will always be there. Competition was there in the past. Competition is there now, and competition will be in the future. So don't get bogged down by the competition. Be confident, be positive, and work upon your strengths and weaknesses, and things will fall in place. May not be immediately, but definitely things will fall in place if you are sincere, honest with yourself, and sincere with your preparation, and committed to this preparation. You'll definitely get through. If not now, sometime in the future, you'll definitely get.
Those were wonderful words of wisdom, I would say, for the people. You have to have the right attitude. You have to have your own analysis that what is you are good at, what you are not. Then, of course, as you said, be honest with yourself. And as you said, success and failures are a part of life. You once fail, you have the chance to be succeed again, right? So lovely that was having a conversation with you. I think the students the viewers of this video will find this session very, very fruitful, because the words that you have told them, the things you have told them, are not only required for this examination, but I would say for the life also.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations to you and your family upon being selected.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for joining in. Do drop in your comments. How did you like the video? And bye-bye.
Thank you.